When them cotton balls get rotten, you can't beat very much cotton in them old cotton fields back home. Why the hell was that song going through my head? Guys, all right, we'll see. Now, we've got a good number of you guys in here already. Maybe this is the way to do it with the live streams. Is just give you guys, or not you guys, but give YouTube a few hours heads up. And maybe some of you guys can actually get notifications in. Hey, Deuce and Candace is here, Miss Zog, Trevor, Coltonius, Oink, Timothy, Licks. You didn't even hear the song? I was singing an old cotton picking song from the fields. Who the hell knows why that came to my head? I haven't been picking any cotton lately. I've been doing good, fool. Doing good, fool. His screen name is Luxurious Fool. I'm not being rude. Yeah. I want to be recruited for Bad Touch. Well, you don't even need to be recruited for that, Willie. That's one of the perks. That is shared elegantly among all of you. Yeah, it does seem to work better, doesn't it, Big Green? I'll try and do that at every opportunity I can as I'm going through my day. If I believe I can get to a stream, I will do like I did today, schedule it a few hours in advance. Seems like that way. And if it's done properly at all, you guys should get a notification when I schedule it, and then another when it goes live. So it gives you guys 2 chances to be notified. Hey, Rover. Totally Joe Biden says Biden is back. Greetings. Boy, that's an entry-level perk. Yeah, Trevor, everybody gets that. Yeah, things not going well. I was just reading some, you know me, I'm always reading that shit. Some poll numbers, and Biden's aren't good right now. Hey, Doctor Who, if that's our song, I will be recruited. Rick says, I actually got notified that I was going to be notified. What is this madness? I know Susan's gone absolutely batshit, hasn't she? She's just like, she's sprinkling fairy dust everywhere. No, what the title of it was, I got, while I was down in Disney, I was thinking about it. And you guys know how much, a lot of you guys that are here are Gooshers, or members of our Patreon. We call it the Goosh. And I've just grown to love hanging out there so much. And not that there's anything, not that I don't enjoy YouTube, it's just that YouTube makes YouTube extremely difficult. And I kept thinking, if we could just move the bulk of the people that really want to be a hardcore part of the community, and certainly all the people that are into anime, over there, I could start putting pretty much everything at the Goosh other than the live streams. You know, we'll still do our live streams here because there will always be some people who can't come over to the Goosh for whatever reason. And we can still do gaming streams, the Free For All Friday, all this stuff. But we could move majority of content over there where we have that cool little community. We can vote on everything, so on and so forth. But then as I thought about it, I got looking stuff up. And the number one channel and Patreon that does anime reactions is their names just went on my head. Blind Wave. And nothing is Blind Wave. I've seen some of their videos. They seem like a cool group. I don't mean to give off any ill will towards them whatsoever. But I've always been an extremely competitive person. I'm like, what the fuck? We can build a Goosh bigger than that. We got a long way to go. I didn't realize they're that big. They have, well, I just looked, 13,299 folks at their Patreon. Now, can we, I'm not important, homeless list says, I don't know. Could we ever catch them? That's a tall order. I mean, I know we're never going to be like, well, nor would I want to be the way YouTube's going. We're never going to be a number one YouTube channel because I think the uphill climb to get past PewDiePie would be rather significant. But is it possible we could catch Blind Wave? I don't know, but I'm gonna start promoting that in the streams and stuff all the time, and try and get all our anime people over here. And I know Well, Coltonius, is Maximus still here? I know he was talking to me. He's going to be doing some more promotion over at the Discord, which then leans over into the GOOSH as well. But I want to make the GOOSH powerful. Yeah. No one says I didn't realize they were that big. Sounds like what I say whenever I find not safe for work fan art. We can. I think. You think so, Doctor? I mean, just judging from the things we do over here at the GOOSH and the reaction I get from you guys, I think we have, especially now, we have such a catalog of anime entertainment along with what we're doing now to certainly be able to attract more and more new people. Zurazul says, Baldman has called the banners. I'm glad you're this far in One Piece because Katakuri is one of my favorite anime characters ever. Good eating these reactions. Katakuri is amazing. He really is. And I've said it in the reactions as well. I like the fact that he has been aware from the get-go that Luffy is an issue. You know, he was Zurazul took over as Stream Boss. He made it very clear that he was concerned about Luffy someday getting up to where he could be a threat to Big Mom. And I like that he had fuck off Chain. I like that he had that respect, but I also like his abilities too. He's a really, and it's funny too because his brother Oven, I think, is an absolute piece of shit. It's funny how the different villains strike you different ways. Rob says Blind Wave are cool. Agreed. The Normies are another big anime Patreon channel. I would love for us to overthrow them, though. The Normies, I don't know as much about. I don't. And again, I almost hesitate to say something like this because it's like, you know how, well, not you guys, but people like to take things and turn it into YouTube drama. And I don't have any issue with Blind Wave at all. Again, I think Blind Wave's awesome. I think the way they do their videos is really good. I think they have good reactions. That's not the point at all. The point is the competitive side of me would like to see if we could overtake them. That's all. The Normies I know of, but I don't know as much about them. Anbu says, hey man, thanks for talking to me earlier. Yes. Oh, nope. No problem at all. I enjoyed that, pal. I truly enjoyed that. I enjoy, any place, anytime we can interact. I always enjoy that with you guys. Mr. Croissant says, hey Curtis, I was able to settle the dispute with my scholarship from my college and they applied it to my tuition and room and board. I get a 5K refund. Whew, 5K refund. Nice. Oh, I'm glad that worked out. Excellent. It was good. Chung Boy says, how was your mini trip? It was good. My wife and I really did have a really nice time. It was fun. I appreciate you asking. Word Cold Cut says, I finally made it back to one of these despite YouTube doing its damnedest to bury those notifications. I think this will help us a little, Cold Cuts. Like I did today, I'll start trying to give you guys a heads up on streams, 2-3 hours ahead. And this was information I got from you guys. You guys seem to think, and it makes sense to me once you said it. It's actually better to schedule the stream a few hours in advance than it is a few days in advance. Because which I should have thought of anyway. If you get a notification a few days ahead, who's thinking about it at that time? Whereas if it's only a couple hours, at least it's still within the same frame of mind. Wolverine says, were you at as of the most recent episode you saw? I'm not that far ahead now, Wolverine. I just got back from vacation. So I assume you're talking about One Piece. I'm probably 2 episodes ahead of the one I posted today. Simping Stan says, now that Jinbei joined Luffy's crew, how would you feel about Carrot possibly becoming the next Straw Hat member? Oh, shit. Karoto? She's cool as fuck. Especially after that, oh gosh, what's her transformation name there? Went right out of my head. But that was cool as hell. And somebody was telling me in the, one of the gang was mentioning to me in the comments that, I guess the fan art of her took a significant leap forward when she hit that transformation. Yeah, no, I like Carrot a lot. And again, having that, the only thing about that ability is I don't like the idea that it can kill her, potentially. Because I worry that leaves an opening for something bad to happen down the road. No, it's going to be bad. Miss Croissant says, Big Mom is sexy, no cap. Rover says, the one thing other reaction channels don't have is Curtis's good looks and raw sexual energy. Well, there is that. Sulong, thank you, Wolverine. Yeah, Sulong. When she goes to that Sulong mode, that was a really neat look and badass too. But again, it scared me as soon as they said that she could die from being in that mode. It's like, come on, I don't want to freaking lose Keroto. Barry says, do we really need to be number one in America when we're number one in Afghanistan? America might have freedom of media selection, but in Afghanistan, we can force our way to number one. True. But that's what I think, Barry, that's what makes being number one in America a goal to achieve, because in Afghanistan, we can just use the military to impose our will. Oh, really? That's interesting, Jeff. He says, a comment in the comment section of a Blind Wave video is how I found your channel. That's really cool. Yeah, like I say, that, and again, I want to make that clear in that my attempt to try and make the GOOSH number one, I don't want that to reflect poorly on Blind Wave in any way. I like Blind Wave. Zurzul says, two-parter below, but just some honest feels. Zurzul says the big reaction channels I know are Blind Wave, The Normies, and RT. Oh, I know of RTTV. I forgot about them. Alongside you. Each one has something different to bring to it, but with you it's like I'm watching anime with my pop. And Zurzul says, big for me since he had just started getting the anime before he died. Oh, I'm sorry to hear that. His favorites were Pervy Sage and Master Roshi, so you can see why I'm attached. Yeah, absolutely, Zurzul, and I'm sorry to hear about your dad. Master Roshi is one you guys taught me about. It's funny how many things on our anime adventure have stuck out to me. And one of them was how you guys had to explain to me what nosebleeds in anime meant, and that was because of Master Roshi. It was back with the scene with Bulma. And his nose starts spewing, and I'm like, so fucker just have an aneurysm or something? I thought he was brain bleeding through his nose. You guys are like, no, asshole. when anime characters get all worked up, their nose bleeds. It's like, oh, I should have known that. Willie says, the people doing the live action Bebop are doing the live action One Piece for Netflix, and the showrunner has already said stuff to worry folks. Oh. Why are all these companies so goddamn good at fucking up anime when they bring it live action? Because there's so many anime shows that would seemingly lend themselves to a great live action adaptation. Why do they always fail so miserably at pulling it off? Lord Coldcut says, I subscribe to a lot of reactors, but only Curtis is worthy of being that cool but shady uncle my parents won't really let me hang around too often. That I think I get a lot of that though, just because of the windowless van, which I only use for distributing produce. Let's see. Rover says, I don't see a point in remaking animes in live action. You can't make the same thing possible without using CGI, but too much CGI usually sucks. Yeah, I think, I wonder too, Rover, it's like, nah, they would fuck it up too. Never mind. I was going to say something, but I corrected myself in thought. It's like, well, maybe if you got somebody, a studio that could hold a really large budget for it. But one thing we've learned about movies is having money certainly doesn't equate necessarily to a quality product. I don't know why it is. Kobayashi Dragon Maid Season 2 is such a hilarious freak show. Oh, I love Dragon Maid. It's funny to bring that up, Chung Boy. Another thing, too, with having our continual drive towards getting the GOOSH numbers up, right now is a great time to join, because later today and into tomorrow, we're going to start setting the stage for a lot of what's coming up. I'm going to be doing a poll later. I want to get you guys to I put the videos in at the $1 level, but I want to catch up on some of the series that we've watched and have new seasons out. So I want to get a feel from you guys which one of those are your favorites, and then either later today or tomorrow, we'll be having the nominations to see who, which series will come after ReZero. So there's going to be a lot of decision making coming up. Oh, and Lud says, oh, by the way, Curtis, I saw the question you asked about new seasons of the anime. To watch $1 level, you decided on? No, I haven't, because it is going to be doing some catch up. Ketchup, mustard. But what we're going to do, I just want to get a feel from you guys as to which of the series that we need to catch up on you guys think would be best. We got Slime. Let's see. Was the other My Hero, I believe, but I'll list them for you guys. I've got like 4 of them I want to throw into the mix and just see what you guys are feeling about it. Big Green says, I mean, they fucked up something as simple as Death Note. We shouldn't trust them with our anime. And I think I get what you mean by that too. Big Green's not demeaning Death Note. But think about Death Note, its premise, its story. That should be something easy to do in live action, because you don't need a ton of CGI or anything. It's a story that would lend itself well to being shot. Hey, there's a little stream boss in real life, and they completely fucked it up. Yes, really badly. Hey, Em, good to see ya. Mistress says I will join on the 20th again. 20th again, even though that's $10 in 10 days. Oh, well, I appreciate that, Mistra. But again, that's what now. And you guys, a lot of you guys that are here with me in the chat every day are the real hardcore cornerstone of our community here. So I am gonna make that a push. I won't post long videos about it, but there will be some of the like YouTube shorts coming up and stuff, trying to get the interest built up more and more in the GOOSH to see if we can overtake Blind Wave. And again, I just hope you guys don't mind them popping up in your feed every so often. But any of you here that aren't members of the GOOSH, and I get not everybody can, not everybody wants to. I completely understand that. I have to keep everything behind a paywall because we saw what happened when I don't. That's how we lost our Vimeo account, because of the anime reactions. And the GOOSHers here will back me up. Even at the $1 level, there's a ton of stuff you get to see, and that's largely because of the generosity of the G100 crew over there sponsoring all those series. Nacho says, the one thing that may make some difference is Oda is still directly involved. It's just as possible that the director was just acting on his own. Well, that's cool then. Okay. I get what you're saying. Okay, that's cool. Gimster says, so I just got here and I think we were talking about how 4Kids done nothing wrong. I agree, because Donzo, Arlong, Shao Tucker, and Mine agree as well. That fucking Mine. It's unusual for me to really have hatred for a character as hot as Mine, but she's a piece of shit. Dragon says, watch the chat. Susan hates humor. Yeah, ain't that the truth, Dragon? Ain't that the truth? Susan hates a lot of things, though, to be fair. Let's see. Miss Alex says, the only time I think using YouTube for good is when Curtis has streams. Other than that, I just rewatch good old videos. And that's another thing I'm thinking too, is, like I said, we'd always keep the streams here. If we were to build the GOOSH bigger, we'll put streams that are exclusive over there as well. If we build that up. But, excuse me, and we'd keep the mainstay things, like the reaction videos to things that everybody here has come to really enjoy. And you guys you see which ones are the ones that everybody watches. We'd keep them here as well, but we'd be doing a lot more over at the GOOSH. YouTube has, because of the way they do things and the way they've really hammered our channel, mostly what they do as far as supporting us is allow people to find our Patreon, allow to find the GOOSH through them. So I got thinking, if I do stuff like this stream and videos here or there about, hey, if you're not a member, come on, hang out with us at the GOOSH, that might be enough to just keep pushing the levels up over there to where we can push more and more stuff there. Hold on a second, I think I'm missing stuff. Oh yeah, I should, duh. Wolverine says, link to the GOOSH is in the description. Probably would have been a good idea to put that up there, huh, Wolverine? Let me- I am so smart. SMRT. All right, hold, let me. So we're having a membership drive stream, and I don't bother to give everybody the link because I don't know why. There's the link to the Goosh. Uh, I wouldn't even thought of it if Wolverine hadn't said that. Apis bin sending says show full design tee you wear now withstanding. Withstanding. Oh, this is one of my favorites. This this is Titan. Robin of the Teen Titans getting slashed down. I saw that one. I still remember when I saw that one. I was like, oh, now there's an anime t-shirt I have to have. Masag says, I'm really disappointed that this is not a recruitment announcement for joining GOOSH Army. Wish we sent the boys of Afghanistan under General Curtis. Well, again, if we're to get up there large enough to be challenging Blind Wave, we may well have to start a military, among other things. among porn and oh, Willie, missed your super chat. I apologize, pal. Anytime I miss a super chat, guys, feel free to spam me with it. Where was it? I got those 3. Ah, Jesus Christ. Sorry about that, Willie. Despite all the face stuff I've told you about, there are now rumblings that Ed will be in the show, but she will be non-binary. She's a child. What is? I know everybody wants to be woke and everything, but what is the concern about being non-binary? It was cute to me that Ed was this tiny little frail girl who was such a badass. Why is that wrong? Why must she not be allowed to have a gender? I don't know. Let's see. Taliban banned anime, so it's already where he asked Sticky Sauce are going to be banning a lot of shit, unfortunately. That's terrible. Hey, Spazdev. Spam is nasty. It is, Day Toker. And I come from an era when people actually ate spam with some regularity, but that is some gross shit. Another thing I'd like to do for the streams, I don't know how I can do it. I've told you guys this. I want to change the background in the respect. I'd like to be able to turn everything this way to the room, so the background would not be so distant behind me, and then I could light it nice. I could what I would do if I did that is have some sort of display behind me where I would, like, week by week change which pops are featured. Instead of just having them all there, I'll put like half a dozen and then rotate them out and everything. I would just like to have a really nicer backdrop, but there's no way to do it here because, again, the room is too deep. But if I turn it this way, it screws things up because of where the heat emanates from and where the air conditioner is. I'm still trying to think that through my head if I can do it differently. Mistress says, aren't you happy, Curtis? You'll identify as a deer or something. Again, why change it? I just don't get it. It's just like, again, to me, it's like, if you want to make inclusive content, that's great, but why not write some original content about people, whoever you're trying to reach out to, whatever community you're trying to reach out to, write something new and original that tells the story of a person, of the people that you're trying to reach out to. Don't just change existing characters. It's off-putting to those who have grown an attachment to those characters, and it's patronizing as hell to these groups that you're supposedly reaching out to. Dragon says, my extremely dark joke is somewhere in the regular chat. I'll repost to increase your chances of finding it. Okay, Dragon. Hold on, let me take a peek. I didn't, but I easily could have missed it. You sure Susan didn't eat it? I didn't see a dragon other than, when you said watch the chat, I didn't see any from you. And that big F is usually easy to pick out as I scroll through. I think she ate it on you, pal. She big mommed it. It's entirely possible I missed it, but I've been looking and I didn't see it. Which again, not surprising. Trevor says, "Can I identify as a plushie?" Yes. Oh, excuse me, guys. Die Hard says the good thing about Oda being involved with the live action One Piece is that it's unlikely there will be any wild changes to characters like that. That's true. That's a good point. And I mean, you do stuff like that, like again, like making Radical Ed non-binary. That's just pandering. That's all it is. There's no need for it. Oh, I want to make somebody else feel good. Why do... I just don't understand that concept in general with, well, it makes more people feel included. What, changing who a character is? Wouldn't you make people feel more included if you wrote a story, a film, whatever the case may be, about people in that lifestyle circumstance instead of just alienating, regardless of anything else? We've all read, you guys read the manga, we've watched the show. We know that Radical Ed is this, again, tiny, thin little girl, little female. You're just putting off your core audience because it's like, but she's not non-binary. She was a girl. It was very clear. It was very, I don't know. Oh, shit. Lick says, I don't know what the words new and original mean, but I'll tell you what my new favorite words are: rehashed and bad. Now, anybody in here, too, that decides to go join up at the GOOSH to become a GOOSHer, here's the link again. Make sure and let us know in the chat that you have joined up, because all of us here will welcome you with bad touch. Because it's what we do. Timothy says, simple answer, use a green screen for your background. Also, Dragon's post is somewhere above. It is up there. Is it, Timothy? Hold on. Just go ahead and switch to top chat again on me. Jesus Christ, that's why, Dragon. And I changed it right when we came in. Susan's got a habit of doing that to me now, too. All right, now I got it. What do child molesters and school shooters have in common? Shooting up school children. Oh, Dragon. Yikes. Oh, no one says, and I apologize for that, pal, but I know I switched that. Actually, I switched it twice, so I'm going to have to keep watching it because we're switching off today. No one says, Curtis, I've become obsessed with Doki Doki Literature Club lately. That was so cool. My new all-time favorite line from this channel is coming from your playthrough. Quick, bang me while you're still warm. Oh, that Doki Doki Literature Club was so fucked up. That was so good. Let's see. Damn it, Susan Whackpotsky. Trevor says, I was so mad when Notre Dame made that field goal. I was so ready to rib you about a FSU win. Oh, that game almost fucking did me in. You guys know I'm a huge Notre Dame fan. And they had an 18-point lead that they blew and had to win in overtime, and that was entirely on the coaching. They entirely, I won't get too deep into that. I know we don't have a ton of football fans here, but they entirely changed their defense. They got the lead and they went to a 3-man front. It's like, what the fuck are you? I was pissed. I was screaming at the TV, and they didn't hear me, apparently, or they ignored me, because they didn't go back to the defense they were running. Let's see. M says, talking to Lude, that's the point. How are they planning to represent devil fruits? That's a good question. They're going to completely change the concept, and it'll end up being something stupid rather than what it's supposed to be. Oh, I hope not. Oh, I hadn't thought about that. I hope not. Chung Boy says, at least the Bucks won a ring. Yes, that's the first. You guys know I'm a big sports nut. I had been in such a drought with my sports teams. And the Bucks were the longest drought because My major favorite teams are the Milwaukee Bucks, who hadn't won since 1971 until this year. Then the Pittsburgh Pirates, who haven't won since 1979. And the rate things are going, probably won't win by 2079 at the rate they're going. And then the Cowboys, who haven't won since 95, and the Fighting Irish, who haven't won since 88. It's real tough being a Curtis sports fan. Coach Kelly made some very questionable decisions. He did, Johnny. He did, and even more so, our new defensive coordinator, who I really like, has got some kinks to work out. Phenomenal recruiter, good coach. Did not show a lot of ability for making adjustments on the fly, and that Marcus Freeman is his name. I'm sure he'll get there. But you're playing you're coaching at elite level now with teams that are every year have expectations of going to the playoffs. You need to be able to adjust. Oink says, "I am not a member of the Goose." Of the Goose. We don't have the Goose anymore. We got the Goose. I'm not a member of the Goose. Shame me, please. Everyone, shame Oink. Sorry. It's gonna be ugly, but there's a shaming a coming. Thoughts on Penn State with the Joe Paterno debacle? That was, it was proven that Joe, while not being physically involved in what went on, knew it took place, and he's the boss. A lot of people are really distraught that his legacy has been tarnished, but he tarnished the legacy himself. It's it's the head coach at your show, and if you even had a whisper, an inkling that something untoward as that might be going on, and you did nothing, he deserves to have his reputation tarnished. Simping Stan says, without giving details, there's a popular One Piece character who's female, but LGBT community are advocating for her to be male because of pronouns? Really? Because of pronouns? Popular One Piece character is female. T community. I just can't really wrap my brain around it. I don't have a problem with you writing a story with a character who is non-binary, who wants to identify as whatever they want to identify as, but why change existing characters? Again, it's just pandering to one group. And my wife now, what a big Disney nut she is, and even though it's not a Disney production, that new Cinderella movie, they made the fairy godmother a non-binary, genderless character played by a dude. Now, I know they're trying to be super woke. The movie's doing abysmally and will continue to do so, I'm sure. And they do things like that just to try to make points with certain groups. But the fact is, the fairy godmother is one of my, if not my wife's, very favorite character from the things Disney has done. And it's because she had that maternal relationship with Cinderella. It was all about being a mom and being that, that caring, guiding light that she needed and everything. And you take that all away. And if that's the creative direction we want to go, that's fine. But don't, then you piss and bitch and moan that people are unaccepting of others because nobody will watch the movie. No, because that's the character we like, and those are the reasons we like that character. And she's very important in that story, and if you take it away, we're not interested. But no, you have to like it because woke. Dragon says, I feel like Vince doesn't realize that he is slowly handing momentum to AEW by releasing so much top talent. He is. Although I do question whether Tony Khan knows what to do with that momentum. Only time will tell. Very true, Dragon, because that was true in WCW. Ted Turner didn't know how to handle that momentum that he acquired when the NWO thing took off and everything. So you're right. I mean, AEW is in a prime position right now because of all this really good, well-known talent they've picked up. But let's see how they go about handling it. You're right. Hey, Samuel took over as stream boss. Says Anime Talk. After watching all of Cautious Hero, overpowered but overly cautious, and Monster Musume, which was hilarious, it was. I'm now watching a romance thriller anime called Devil's Line. Haven't heard of that one, pal. Devil's Line. Huh, that's a new one too. Yes, Monster Musume was very cool. I liked that. I enjoyed that a lot. And what I've seen of Cautious Hero, I've enjoyed too. Lude says adaptations should never change something major, especially not gender or pronouns. I agree. It's disrespectful to the source material, the original creator, and the original core audience. Right. And like I say, my wife couldn't care less about if somebody's gender fluid, non-binary, whatever they want to be. That's her character. And they took away all the reasons that she loves that character. So why would she want to watch the movie? That was a huge part of that movie to her, was the fairy godmother's relationship with Cinderella. And now that's just kind of got to be some kind of goofy, silly relationship now. That's what I don't get, Sticky Sauce. He says, ever notice diversity crowd never make original characters made by members of the community they claim to champion? Would require effort when what they truly want is quick attention. Yeah, exactly. That's what I don't understand. If you want to represent any specific portion of the population or any community, so write something. Tell a great story within that community. Don't just try and hijack existing characters. And the thing of it is, from a financial standpoint, it's been proven over and over that don't work. Lud says, I have nothing against LGBT getting more inclusion in media. Right. But if you want them, make new characters that are LGBT. Don't change old ones to fit your agenda. I agree completely. I completely agree. But if you say that, well, again, we all know social media. If you say that, which I don't mind, I'm perfectly willing to say it. But when you say that, then you're whatever word they want to break out, depending on who you say it about, but you're not being accepting, and you don't like diversity, and you're basically increasing the chances that people are going to take their own lives because you're bullying them. And it's like, no, make your own stories. Tell your stories. Will I watch it? I don't know. Is it going to be a good story? Or are you going to fuck that up too? The same parameters I have for any other story, movie, whatever it's going to be. How good a story are you going to tell? But hijacking characters to try and include somebody isn't ever going to work. Willie says, my biggest fear for Bebop is that they will make Spike and Vicious gay for each other. They also don't make anything original because it will tank. And yeah, that's what gets me, Willie. And you're not wrong. But they're tanking these, like Cinderella, these existing stories. Now, what's the name of the actress who's playing Cinderella? Because she's a person of color. Now, I know when my wife saw that, she was like, no, that's fine. Just because of the way we've seen Cinderella, the main character points to Cinderella was that she was an innocent young girl. Zendaya, right? Zendaya looks like an innocent young girl. Skin color, to my wife, to me, didn't matter. But what you did with the fairy godmother ruins it. Again, it was that sweet maternal relationship she had with her, and that, that you identify the fairy godmother as that mom type caretaker, and now it's got to be a gender neutral dude. Okay. Dawar says, pretty sure Musume is pronounced Musume, means daughter, I think. I always forget, Dawar. It's been so long since I watched that series. We went over the pronunciation while we were there, but while we were watching it, but I've forgotten. Gibster says, the people in charge making changes are like that one meme of that guy shooting someone and asking, why do people hate me for what I've done? They should try and understand me and my struggles. Right. I agree with you. It's like, there's no hatred there because you don't want to watch something where you entirely changed a character and took away the things that you loved about that character. But that's the way especially to the people we're talking about, everything is black and white. You're either with us or against us. You either have to support everything we do, or you're not an ally, you're an enemy. Oh, okay, so I'll be an enemy. I don't care. Camilla Cabello, was it? Cheap jump scare? That's terrible. I couldn't remember her name. Anyway, I saw the previews and I saw the actress. I knew she looked familiar to me. But that, to me, that is the core of Cinderella, is the innocent young girl. I don't think skin tone has much to do with it. But the core of the fairy godmother's character is that maternal, loving mom type thing, and we lost that entirely. Johnny says, fuck that maternal shit. I want to see the fairy godmother and Cinderella scissor. M says, God, this chat is full of so many homophobes, transphobes, racists, and LGBTQRST phobes. You should all just accept our diversity. And that's the sad thing, too. I mean, is you can't even have conversations about it with a lot of people that champion, not even necessarily within that community, but champion on behalf of that community. Because when you say things like that, they just want to cut the conversation off. Well, no, if you don't support the idea of the fairy godmother as a gender non-binary dude, then you're just full of hate. Full of hate for that as a character, sure, because it's not the fairy godmother. Samuel says, for some reason, when I watched Monster Musume, I connected and get the intro song out of my head. That's actually a cool thing, though, isn't it? When you get something that really sticks with you. Boy, the song, well, the all-timer so far anime opening for me that it just never leaves me is Hunter x Hunters. I just absolutely love it. But I really, it might be my favorite song within a series is Her Name is Coco, She is Loco from Jormungand. Ooh, it's good. Rosa says, okay, now here we can get, it's nice though, and I mean this sincerely, it's nice to get a perspective from somebody within the community, because again, our friend Rosa here is transgender. The funny thing about transgenders is that the majority of them are actually transphobic. Very much so. They hate transgenders enough to kill them. Really? I would have never guessed that. Really, Rosa? That's kind of frightening, isn't it? And well, I had told you guys many times, and I stand by it because it's fact. All the years I did stand-up, and back in the day when I was doing it for a living, my sense of humor was very coarse. But I have never once had somebody that was a member of the group that I was talking about be offended. All the time somebody was offended, it was somebody else on behalf of that group. Typically a white female. Sorry, but those are the stats. That's what it was. M says, most of the time, it's not even people who identify in those groups that seem to care. Perfect. LOL, more often than not, it's the ones who champion for them and they don't see the irony in doing so in such a way. Yep. Exactly what I was saying, M. Exactly what Rose is laying out, too. Yep. All the time. You know, you'd get, especially when people have been drinking, and obviously I'm playing comedy in clubs, somebody would come up all fired up on behalf of whoever I was talking about. What I might have been gay people, could have been black people, could have been white people. Who the hell knows? But somebody came up all fired up about something I said or did or joke I made. And it was never a member of the community that was supposedly offended. It was somebody on their behalf. In other words, do-gooders. Useless do-gooders. Nacho says, the 97 Cinderella had a black lead and Whitney Houston's The Fairy Godmother. That's right, I forgot about that one. It was a better Cinderella movie than the new movie, odd as it was. Yeah, see, for me, that story, and again, I know everybody's different. The skin tones don't matter. It's the relationships. So I don't have a problem with Cinderella being black, with her being color at all. It's taking away, and that one didn't, obviously, but what I'm saying is what they're doing here is taking away what makes the character of the fairy godmother so likable and so endearing. That's the issue I have with it. Rob says, if you want to tell me Hisoka from Hunter x Hunter is secretly a pedo, I think we all knew it. But don't tell me he randomly turns into a woman. Just make a new woman character and we'll all love and accept it. Yeah, that's where I am, Rob. It's like if you want to represent whatever member of the community, whatever community you want represented, write a character, write a story, and make something good that people will want to watch, instead of just hijacking existing characters. Gord Coldcut says, quit, oppressed person. I will speak for you. Offended person, probably. Yeah, pretty much. Pretty much. That's what it was all the time, Cold Cuts. And it used to be, and they never, I don't know why, well, of course, it was different clubs, different nights. I don't know why anybody ever bothered, because they never got any satisfaction. All I did would be to mock, laugh, and deride them, laugh at and deride them in response. So Rosa says, that was a transgender suicide joke that I said. Only just joined the stream, heard you talk about transgenders. Okay, gotcha, Rosa. No, we're just talking mainly, Rosa. It came up, not even transgender, but that they had made the fairy godmother in the new Cinderella, I guess, gender fluid. As I said, now, for me, the whole pronouns thing, and you can't decide if you're a boy or a girl or whatever, I don't get that. Transgenderism, I haven't experienced it, but I can understand it. I mean, it isn't certainly out of the realm of possibility to me, or probability to me, that somebody can be born female and just feel that that's wrong, or vice versa. So it's like, yeah, if it's that important to you, if it's something you feel is wrong and you want to make that change, hey, good for you. You do what makes you happy. I don't have a lot of understanding of, well, I don't know, today I kind of feel like a boy, tomorrow I'll feel like a girl, and Thursday I'm thinking salamander. I mean, I don't get. I think a lot of that is for attention. Masonic says, they say that LGBTQ and blacks are minority and oppressed, but the movies they make these days are completely opposite. Isn't that also censoring the reality of oppression? Yeah, I get what you're saying. But at least, the thing of it is, at least when you talk about blacks in America, there is a literal history of oppression to lean back on. Now, some people, I think, believe that there's more oppression currently in our society than I believe there actually is. But I think a lot of times certain groups take a lack of acceptance as oppression, and they're not the same thing. You can't force everybody to accept your lifestyle. All they have to do is not interfere with it. They have no right to hurt you, demean you in any way, just ignore you. And that's where I think they cross over sometimes, is they believe that if somebody's not accepting of them, they're oppressing them, and that's not the case. Dragon says, I've dealt with similar issues in the past because I've had people who have no idea what it's like to be blind try to tell me what is offensive to blind people. We're the only ones who have the right to make that decision. And it goes on all the time, Dragon. It's always some do-gooder on behalf. Hey, Dragon took over Stream Boss. It's always some do-gooder that just thinks they're going to speak on behalf of all others, or of everybody in that group. And they have no right to speak on their behalf because they have no idea how they feel. They believe that they know everything and they know what's best for everybody. And so I will take up the mantle for them. Like, who the fuck are you? The people within that group, I'm sure there are plenty of them, plenty smart enough to state their own case. They don't need your help. Rosa says, the thing is, you can't know for sure if you are trans unless you get a brain scan. Really? I made sure to get brain scans before I got my surgeries and stuff done. That doesn't mean change gender daily. No, not at all. That's what I'm talking about, Rosa. That's what I mean. You made a decision that you were not living the life of who you honestly are. And again, while I'm not going to be patronizing and say, oh, I understand that, because I don't, I've always been a boring dude and always was comfortable with being a boring dude. But I get that, I can see that. I'm talking about the people who are just looking for some attention with the gender fluidity and well, I can't be tied down to one gender or the other because it just depends on how I feel on a given day. And I see that stuff and it's like, nah, I think you just really want want some attention. That's entirely different than being born with a penis and deciding that that's wrong and you're a girl, or vice versa. Again, while I can't experience it, I can empathize with that. Only says, to be fair, people actually do make new LGBTQ characters and stories. You just don't tend to hear about them. The Owl House has a lot of that stuff and still has a good story. Does it? And I'm all for that. That's what you should do. If you want representation out there, get out there and write some good shit. This is a salamander now, apparently, Quest Guy. I've been worse. Nacho says, I think Netflix changed the gay character in a Saint Seiya anime adaptation to a woman. Everyone was mad at them. It was hilarious. Oh, jeez. and the thing is, I just don't get why. Oh, let me hit again too. Again, this is a membership drive stream for the Goosh. We are going to try and challenge Blind Wave for the top spot of anime Patreons. We got a long way to go. So that's the link if you want to come join. Lick says, I for one love being bisexual. It means I get to have my identity erased by other LGBT, and I've always wanted to not exist. That as a outside observer, Licks, I've seen that. It's like, I get what Licks is saying. Bisexual people have been erased in the respect that now you're not a true ally unless you can fit into one of these newer categories for us and help us to move our, for lack of a better term, movement along, I guess. Just getting the time, like, yeah, because I say I like Blind Wave. I don't want to make any, give anybody a wrong impression about that. I like Blind Wave. It's just a competition thing to me. I want to outdo them, not because I hate them, because I'm competitive and I want the Goosh to be the biggest. I think that's true, Johnny. Says having a conversation with a woke person usually devolves into talking past each other. Yeah, I believe so. Oh no, Willie says, I am in a public speaking class and the teacher has threatened to fail us if we use the term you guys because she is offended on their behalf. I'm dead serious. It doesn't surprise me at all. And come on. That's as innocuous a term as it comes. We all know for years the term you guys hasn't had a gender attached to it. It's been a very general term for groups of people, and wow, you guys all know. I don't have to explain it. Gimster says, at least with where I worked for the past 2 years, some people would try to not offensive, but wouldn't be an over-the-top do-gooder. On the other hand, some guys would just openly be as offensive as possible just for laughs. Yeah, I think that happens in a lot of social circles, be it work or otherwise. And that's why I was always careful. The one thing, it's funny, when I was doing stand-up for a living and a lot of my material was what would be considered offensive, I always tried to make sure, as much as I could, that people understand that that's just my sense of humor. I don't like the idea of being offensive just for the sake of being offensive. It was just, that's the stuff I found funny. Excuse me. Spazdev says, I'm excited for tonight because new American Horror Story episode. I heard a lot of good things about that show. I'm addicted to this new season. Evan Peters, Macaulay Culkin, and Frances Conroy all deserve Emmys. I have not seen anything of it, Spazdev, but I got several friends who are just absolutely hooked right into it, are really hooked by it. Timewing says, SJW teachers are the worst. I know that firsthand as a newly college graduate. Yeah, I think that too, Timewing. Well, we know that a lot of college campuses are more indoctrination centers than anything else. That's why I like where Brax goes to school. Has got a very fair balance out there. Let's see. Cold Cut says, "All right, my roommate left. I'm home alone. Let's talk about butts. Let's talk about butts, baby." um, oh, and also too, I meant to mention mods and anybody else in the chat. Anytime during these chats that anybody wants to leave a reminder, specifically the mods, obviously, about, and this is all of them going forward, about our push that we want to unseat Blind Wave. Mods, feel free at any point to just post in there, just basically that. We're trying to, we're looking to unseat Blind Wave as the top anime Patreon. Come join the Goosh here. So, and that's all streams going forward. Feel free to at any point. I do love a good butt lick, says. Hey, Dr. Money says, I like that, Dr. Money. I've been watching your videos for a while. Just thought I'd drop by and say hi. Well, I appreciate you doing that. Drop by anytime. The streams get really fun. I think, what do you guys think? Want to do gaming tomorrow? If I do get to stream, I think I will. If we game, obviously, I want to get back to Resident Evil Village. I just found the big titty lady, and then I haven't been back to the game in a while. Ass is just so great, Lord says. Rick says, "Not fuck your Patreon. In fact, I'm going to make a rival Patreon and trick people into thinking it's your Patreon, which will contain nothing but anti-anime propaganda." You know what the best part about that response is? That was not unexpected from Wix. I thought you'd hit me with something like that. Oh, you guys are funny. Quest Guy says, "As transgender myself, well, I agree." Oh, okay, I didn't know that. Quest Guy is also trans. "As transgender myself, well, I agree with the brain scan thing, but for me, it was more of an insecurity thing, born as a male, but haven't felt right with it. And now I'm a proud female with a supporting girlfriend." Very cool. No, like I say, I myself personally, I have zero issue with that. I don't like to be patronizing enough to say, "Oh, yeah, I know how you feel." Well, no, how would I know? But I can understand it. I mean, it's not a stretch for me to think that somebody just doesn't feel that the gender they were born with was right for them. That doesn't seem to be a stretch at all to me. Let's see. Willie says, "I learned that my old elementary school, which will remain unnamed, was teaching CTR to kindergartners and was guilting white toddlers." Jesus Christ. To kindergartners? Alvin Chipmunk says, "They should make a video game like Sonic the Hedgehog. Call it Goosh the Sperm Cell." Kind of like that. Fuck Sonic. Oh, and if we did fuck Sonic, obviously we'd make him pregnant. Dragon says, "I'm not against the idea of social justice in general, but there's a time and place for it. My issue is when it's taken too far." Right. I agree with you, Dragon. I think social justice in a true sense, everybody should be behind. It's just that I think that a lot of people take social justice and try to apply it to things that are not necessarily social justice at all and are just basically trying to advance their own individual thoughts, wants, desires. Johnny says, "Joining the Goosh adds an extra 3 inches to your genitals." It's true. I'm 4.5 now. Immerwall says, "You guys remember the Adult Swim show Hassie McGee?" That sounds kind of familiar, Immerwall, but I don't remember. It was just the lower half of a body with a pistol acting as a loose cannon cop. I don't remember that. And that seems like something I would have been right into. Rosa, you're so goddamn funny. Rosa says, "I had a surgery to turn pee-pee into a vagina. Respect me or I will cry." Bucky says, "Hey Curtis, can you say Eric Barrera from When Itachi Sucks 3 times?" I'll jump up and down over here. But wait a second. Bucky, how can I do that? What if Eric doesn't actually suck? I don't want to be a fountain of misinformation here. Now, I'm not leaving out the possibility that Eric does indeed suck. But I would need more information on the topic. Anybody know anything about Eric from Wenatchee? Wenatchee? Oh, excuse me, guys. Oh, that's a good question. Hold on, I gotta answer a question from Brax. I gotta look something up for him. I will keep watching while we're here. Watching the chat. Oh shit, where the hell did I put that? I gotta look that up. Ah, there it is. Come on, you can do it, Curtis. Okay. Okay. Answer Brax. Rose says, "What is the Brax? Can I eat it?" Yeah. Alex says, "Screw Eric. Red will put his foot up his ass." Masonic says, "Hitler got only one ball and it destroyed half of Europe. Imagine if he had both balls. God forbid." Good point. Jesus Christ. Jesus Christ. Joshua says, "Am I late or is this still live?" It's still live. I love these streams. I'm glad you could be here, Joshua. Willie says, "I will make live action Bible black but woke." Here's the link again for anybody that wants to join all the anime fun over at the GOOSH, our Patreon. Let me just respond to Brax. I'll be right back. Okay, all set. Oh, Luke says, "Okay, I gotta go. Food calls, and now that I'm back on college food, I gotta grab it before the damn foreigners steal all the lasagna." See, that's important. By all means, I understand, Luke. Go get that goddamn lasagna. Goddamn foreigners. Tomlin says, "Doesn't Brax know that all questions can be answered on the internet?" You guys are funny. Yeah, right. Lick says, "Lou, go fucking kill Garfield, my son." We were just talking about Garfield the other day. I forgot how the hell it came up. I don't remember. We're just in the comment section of a video, though. Downlord says, "I normally don't endorse live action movies, but for Willie's idea, I'll make an exception." Rosa says, "Gender dysphoria is when a female brain develops in a male body or vice versa due to a mistake with an SOX9 or NROB1 hormone. This rare, and there is nothing that makes your brain swap between genders." You laid some science on me, of which I was not aware, Rosa. That's kind of cool. That is. I like learning stuff like that. Barry says, "Join our Patreon and you shall be showered in anime boobies. We have a boobie buffet open 24/7 with all shapes and sizes. All this for the modest price of $5 a month. Terms and conditions apply." Hell, for even $1 a month, you get most of the boobies, or a big hunk of the boobies. A big hunk of the boobies. Excuse me. Joshua says, "You're trying not to laugh. Always have me rolling." Well, thanks. I appreciate it. I'm going to be doing another one of those. So I got to decide if I want to do one of the regular try not to laughs. I think I might do another, even if it's not try not to laugh. I'm in the mood for another Family Guy compilation, though. I think that'll be coming up soon. Dragon says, "I'm not racist. I hate everyone equally." And that's fair. That's the fair way to be. Oh, I love terrible jokes and puns. Rosa says, "What did the sea say to the beach?" Nothing. It just waves. Big Green says, I don't know. I can relate to Garfield. I too dislike Mondays and lasagna is good. As are naps. Gone says, if there's a female brain and a male brain, doesn't that discredit the whole non-binary thing if they're supposed to be neither? I don't want to speak for Rosa. I think Rosa may agree with you on that. No, Joshua, we were talking about the new Cinderella. We won't see it because they ruined the fairy godmother character. And again, not because it's to hate on non-binary people or anything. It's just because the reason my wife loves the fairy godmother character is because she is that maternal mother figure to Cinderella, and she loves that relationship. And with it being played by a dude who is apparently gender fluid, it's like that's gone for her. Joshua's stream boss now. Rosa. I forgot how to throw a boomerang, but then it came back to me. Barry's now he's explaining the terms and conditions. There are no real boobies. It is all anime boobies, which are TV shows. No refunds are given. If you've fallen for our trap card, it's your fault. But still do come, anime boobies. Oh, I could be the new Cinderella Mistra. That would be. Anybody that was willing to cast me as Cinderella should really be removed from society. Mr. says, not Curtis actually trans female? It's just a VTuber avatar? I'm not sure who you mean, Mr. Nacho says, Emergence Metamorphosis is going to be anime of the year when it gets animated, mark my words. Also, I can't wait to see Twitter explode. Emergence / Metamorphosis. I'm not familiar with that, Nacho. That again, for me, I really don't care about genre or storyline. If a story is good, I'm all about it. Oh, again, look at what Chrome brings us. I mean, who would have thought that I would like something like Cardcaptor Sakura? But it's cute. It's fun. Every month when we watch an episode, I look forward to it. It's like, just for those reasons. It's adorable characters. It's a fun little story. Masonic says, Curtis sending Patreon like me a blessing from Ward. My wallet. I'm going to destroy this man's whole career. Joshua says, I'd pay to see that, U.S. Ferry. I'm just trying to think. I think with the right amount of work, I could be pretty. The right amount of work being, a wrecking ball to the face, because it just have to be torn down and start over. There's no fixing this. David says, hello, Curtis. Greetings from Poland again. I can't wait for your reaction on several upcoming One Piece episodes. I'm so hyped up. Did you ever think about watching Fairy Tail? Well, actually, David, most of, I'm sure you know, most of what we watch gets voted on, and we're going to have, in the coming next couple days, we're going to start the nomination process for a new series. Fairy Tail gets mentioned every single time, and without exception, in nominations. It just hasn't gotten enough support yet to get voted in. And from what people tell me, Doed, I hope I'm pronouncing your name at least close to right. What people tell me, their reasons for hesitancy on it are, I guess, later seasons it fell off. And again, that's not an opinion. That's just something I've been told. But it gets nominated every time. It's made some polls. Just hasn't won one yet. Willie says, Curtis says the glass slipper. Hope you like feet. Look, says, you're already pretty. Hurry up and put the dress on. I've been waiting for this for years. Oh, you guys are fun. M says animals considered non-binary though have physical abilities to swap between genders, like clownfish. Males can develop into females under certain conditions. I know that's always so bizarre to me too. I mean, not just bizarre to me on a biological level that can take place. Andrew says, "Damn it, Susan, barely getting a notification. At least I'm already a goosh bag." Yes, you are, Andrew. I like that goosh bag. We got to use that more often instead of just gooshers, goosh bags. I like that. Jay says, "Fairy Tale was okay for me, but they had a reset in the plot. It seemed, and I dropped it." That's basically what I hear, Jay. Because again, every nomination, every time we have nominations, it gets nominated, and it has made it to some polls. And I don't ever hear like a lot of hate for it. It's just basically what you said. People lost interest in it in later seasons. That's really interesting. I'm sure eventually we'll get through enough anime, it'll probably get put in, but that's what's held it back so far. David says, "Fairy Tale is nowhere close to One Piece when it goes to story, but I watch it with pleasure. It's very fun anime to watch. As a proof, I can say that Almighty Lord Nux Taku loves it too." I like Nux. Nux is a good dude. Nux is, social media is such, in general, well, let's be specific, Twitter is such a cesspool, but Nux is one of the few, Nux and Critical are two of the few redeeming values over there. I enjoy reading the stuff they tweet. Gon says Fairy Tale is fun. Yeah, like I say, Gon, most people have told me that, and that the characters are good, the story is, as you said, fun. It can't seem to get through and get elected because of weaknesses later on. Oh. Dragon says, "Why do orphans like boomerangs? Because they actually come back." Jeez. Same says, "It's okay to like something that you can admit is terrible." True, I agree with that. Masaki says, "Not have a problem with my wallet. I would donate even $1 per month if we had access to international banking system in this damn country." That's why, Masagi, I wish, because I know some people can't join the GOOSH. I wish there was a way. And the one time I tried to get around that and let people who I know would love to be there if they could be involved, that we ended up getting our Vimeo account closed. That's why I have to keep everything behind a paywall. I can't even go over to the GOOSH and like put out a post for everybody just saying, "Hey, come on in and join the GOOSH," because I have to keep everything behind a paywall just out of fear of what they're going to come get us with next. Simping Stan says, "It is crazy to think that One Piece is about to reach 1,000 episodes, November 14th, and within the next few months you'll be caught up to date." It is amazing. That's right. So we'll be having another nominations thread once I get close to catching up on One Piece too. Because what we'll do is we'll go to something new, we'll let One Piece get back ahead of us, and then we'll pick it back up. Andrew says, "Who doesn't like terrible things? For example, cock and balls torture." Jeez. Oh, Rosa. "How do ghosts keep in shape? They exercise regularly." Stream jumping and lagging? I haven't seen it on my end yet, Berries. But you never know what Susan's going to grace you with, though, at any given point. Diehard says, "I feel like it's been years since you started One Piece of the GOOSH. I bet it's going to be really weird for you not watching it every day." It's going to be extremely weird, Diehard. It really is. It's what are you? Chrome knows right offhand. She had a good handle on the timeline. I think it's been about 2.5 years we've been working on it. It is going to be really weird. No, Timeline says, "Have you seen a man named Maku Naruto? He's a wrestler in Japan. I haven't seen this. Who dresses as Ronald McDonald and molests his male opponents. I haven't. I gotta look that up. I haven't seen that. I would remember that. Favorite anime, Joshua says, or hentai, it's all the same. I don't really have an individual favorite, Joshua. I have like I always tell everybody, I have like elite level. Because as far as favorite, anime is so widely different in genres. It depends on what I'm in the mood for. But in that elite level are certainly Hunter x Hunter, One Piece, Miss Kobayashi's Dragon Maid, Yoramuungan. I mean, there's a lot of them there. But I don't really have a specific, I will have a specific favorite at a given moment. You know, and if I was sitting down to watch anime and I was going to rewatch an anime and I was going to pick one, if I did it right now, maybe it'd be Hunter x Hunter. But if I did it and I was in a different mood, it would be Miss Kobayashi's Dragon Maid. It all depends for me. Excuse me. Oh, Rosa. Wow. Why do Muslim women like muscular men? Because they hit harder. Oh. Oof. Is it appropriate to follow that up with posting the link to the GOOSH again? What the hell? We're going to do it anyway. Again, any of you, if you're into anime at all or just want to be part of our community, hit up the link to the GOOSH. It's right there. You can join for $1 a month, $5 a month, whatever. Well, you'll see. All the levels are there. It tells you what happens at each level. When will the nomination post be up? Gonna go for the rest of Psychopaths? That's been good so far. Probably tomorrow, Willie. Later, I need to put up another poll, and I don't want to put that with at the same day I do the nominations thread, because I need you guys to help me decide what you'd most like to see at the $1 level. Usually I do that myself, but since they're all series that we've seen before, but are continuing seasons of, I want to get you guys' feedback on that. All right, guys, I gotta go. Thank you for the stream. And again, if you're not a member of the GOOSH, don't wait. Get over there. We have such a long way to go to try and climb the mountain that is Blind Wave. And that's what we want to do, is we want to see if we can get up there and take over from Blind Wave as the #1 anime destination on Patreon. So if you're not a member of the GOOSH and you have the means and the desire, definitely go over there and check it out. Tell your friends, tell people you hate, tell everybody, tell the dog, whoever. But thank you. Fuck off, train. Thank you for this stream. Guys, the sticky stuff today, even though it's a Wednesday, pay no attention to the calendar, because I wasn't able to stream the whole time we were in Disney. So this is a week's worth of sticky stuff pin up. You're going to have Friday sticky stuff in there, Saturday sticky stuff in there, Florida sticky stuff in there. Indeed, goose, goodbye, Gimster. This sticky stuff is just a veritable melting pot of ooey gooey fun. This is Katakuri would be in awe of this sticky stuff. He'd be looking at his own sticky stuff going, God damn, bring your game up. Because here it comes. Pumpu pumpu. Sticky stuff for you, sticky stuff for you, sticky stuff for you, sticky stuff. Melting pot sticky stuff for everybody. Because we'll bang, okay? Flashly like Buggy. And as always, most importantly, and you better believe it's a melting pot. Goosh, 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 goosh. Goosh. Ah.